Why does it seem like you have been laying along in bed doing nothing lately? Are you someone who gets weary easily? Do you categorize this behavior as nothing more than simple laziness? Laziness and burnout actually have a lot of characteristics, making it challenging to distinguish between the two. Burnout is an unhealthy state of emotional, bodily, and mental weariness brought on by too much stress and an inability to handle it. And as of 2010, a survey found that over 40% of adults in the United States alone had more severe burnout symptoms, accounting for over 75% of all instances. More than ever, it is essential to educate people about burnout and help them better understand its causes. With that in mind, we provide in this video 6 red flags that indicate burnout rather than laziness is what you are now feeling. Number 1. Your connection to everything feels broken. Are you living your life on autopilot, going through the motions? Is there a lingering sense of being cut off from your true self? Depersonalization is a burnout symptom that you might be going through without realizing it or understanding it. The majority of people who struggle with trauma and experience depersonalization describe a peculiar emotional numbness or emptiness, as if they were looking in on life from somewhere other than themselves. They no longer feel like themselves. Nothing seems to be holding their attention. Additionally, they battle an overwhelming sense of helplessness and an inability to regain control of their lives on a daily basis. Number 2. You used to have energy. Laziness is a personality quality. Character qualities also have a tendency to hold steady throughout time. A person who is lazy never feels like working hard or devoting oneself. However, if you were once highly motivated and successful, frequently excelling in particular areas, and have only recently started to feel worn out, apathetic, and unmotivated, it's more likely that you are experiencing burnout than laziness, as most people would assume. Number 3. You once had passion. Now you feel burnt out. Someone who is burned out has things they used to be passionate about but may now be struggling to find interest in or enjoyment from anymore, which is a clear distinction from someone who is lazy. Burnout can make it difficult for you to do the things you once loved or were enthusiastic about, whether it be a talent, a sport, or just your academic or professional performance in general. Because of how much you strained yourself and pushed yourself to the breaking point because of it, you can even grow to detest or resent it. Number 4. You've changed, you're unpleasant and angry now. Do you suddenly find yourself irritable and snarky? These days, do you experience frequent emotional instability for no apparent reason? A prominent but sometimes ignored indication of burnout is depression and irritation. Therefore, this may be the cause if you start to have difficulty managing your emotions, especially if it has never been a problem for you before. The opposite of this is true of lazy people, who are frequently calm, collected, unperturbed, and tranquil. Number 5. Your self-care has been neglected. If you begin to neglect your needs and isolate yourself from others, this is one of the most disturbing warning signs that you may be emotionally and physically exhausted. Your eating and/or sleeping habits have undergone alarming alterations. You cease putting forth an effort to maintain your appearance or groom yourself, and you have a tendency to spend the most of your time alone doing nothing. This is because even the smallest duties can easily fatigue you. The fact that you weren't always this way makes a significant distinction between burnout and laziness. And number 6. These alterations came about gradually. Finally, and maybe most significantly, you should be aware that burnout happens gradually. Therefore, all of the previously listed problems, losing interest and drive, especially in things we used to enjoy, feeling cut off from yourself and the world around you, retreating socially, and neglecting your own needs, don't happen overnight. According to studies, there are actually 5 main stages of burnout, each of which has a varying intensity. Honeymoon period, beginning of tension, ongoing stress, burnout, and habitual burnout. Numerous individuals start to show symptoms as early as the second phase, when there is still some mild stress present but optimism, interest, motivation, and performance may already be slipping. By the time you get to the 5th and final stage, burnout has already ingrained itself in your life to the point that the ongoing mental and physical exhaustion is more severe and difficult to treat, which increases your risk of experiencing sadness and anxiety. Early detection of burnout makes it easier for you to get assistance and recover from it. Because of this, it's critical to spread knowledge of burnout rather than simply dismissing it as laziness, as most people do. So please don't hesitate to contact a mental health care provider right away and discuss it if you or someone you know may be experiencing mental or emotional fatigue. As always, we appreciate you watching. See you soon on Spirito Vivo.